being recorded. Tell me now, or leave, or forever hold your peace. I don't know. But here's Chelsea, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
Hello, hello, hello. Well, as she said, my name is Chelsea Young, and I'm the Instruction and Engagement Librarian. Let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. Okay, can everybody see it?
Yes.
Cool beans.
Yes.
Chrissy provided me with some questions that y'all had, and so I've tried to address, I hope I've addressed all of them in this presentation. So yes, research like a boss, tips and tricks of Ottenheimer databases. So to kind of get us started, I did want to do a waterfall chat where I'm going to ask you a question, and in the chat, you'll put your answer, but you won't hit enter yet. Whenever I tell you to hit enter, you'll do that, and then we'll see everybody's answers kind of come in like a waterfall, just so we kind of have an idea what people think of whenever we think of the library. So my question is, what do you think of when you think of the library? And so if everyone will type in their answer in the chat, and then I'll give us about 1 minute. And at 6:10, I'll say go, and everybody will hit enter and submit their answers at one time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool beans.
Yes, it does.
Okay, it's 6:10, so let's hit enter and let's see everybody's answers. Oh, books, lots of reading. Miss Joyce, yes, I wish Miss Joyce were still at the library. She went to the Starbucks. Great resources, helpful staff, great resource tool, books, journals, papers, people reading, information, resources, study zone. Place where you reach to the information you want, physical book, online content. Awesome. So yes, the library is all of that, and hopefully more. So to kind of get us started, make sure I'm moving forward. I wanted to talk about where you can go to find resources whenever you're at the library, whether you're a remote student and you're coming to our website to use our databases, or you're on campus and you can use our resources. There is also Google Scholar that you can use, and you can also access some of our resources through there, because there will be a little link to the right that says it's available at UA Little Rock. So there are about 194 databases that the library has purchased that you all have access to. So you can use any of them. You can use all of them. Our quick search, which is that big kind of Google-like search box on our webpage, will search all of the databases at one time, and it'll search our print collection as well. So you get access to absolutely everything that the library has. And I will showcase the library's webpage and show y'all a little bit more about what I'm talking about. But if you want to do something a little bit more subject specific, like you want to search for more like art books or art materials, or you want to do something closer to like nursing or computer science, anything like that, we do also separate things via subject. And so you can search for things that are very subject specific. And I will show you exactly where you can go. And we'll have typically little boxes in each one of those that tells you what are the best bets which is us saying we think that these particular databases will give you the most or the best information on this particular subject. And I will show y'all that in just a minute. But I also wanted to touch on trouble getting sources, whether it's a very recent article that got published. It's something that you get to it, all you can see is the abstract, and it requires you to pay money before you can get anything more than that. Or maybe a link just isn't working and you can't seem to pull up the full text article. The awesome thing about that is we have interlibrary loan. An interlibrary loan, you can put your request in to get the article, to get the book, the movie, the sheet music, the whatever it is that you need. You can ask for it through interlibrary loan. And for articles, we tend to say anywhere between 2 to 5 business days to get the article to come in, and that'll come in via email. What I would do is download the article and save it to your computer, save it to the Google Drive, to a flash, a jump drive, anything like that. Go ahead and just download that. That way you'll continue to have access to it past when it's required to go back. So we'll get it for you. And if it's a physical book and it comes to the library, we tend to put it in it's a locker, and we give you a code and you can come do that. I think we also are doing ship to home for interlibrary loan, but I'll just double check on that and get back to y'all. But you can also request the things that we have here at the library. So say there's a book that you found that you think would be very helpful, and you're at home, you can put a request in to have that pulled and made available for you. And the next day you happen to be on campus, you can come by and pick it up because we should have it ready for you. So touching back on one of those points where maybe all you can access through the library is the abstract. Some of that sometimes is because there's an embargo that the publisher has placed on particular articles, especially some of the newer articles that have been published. And we don't have access to the full text for like 12 months until after it's published. But that's where interlibrary loan definitely can come in handy, because there are other libraries that might have purchased access to that. And whenever we put it out through interlibrary loan, that request, some other libraries might be able to scan that and send it to us. And so we might be able to work around that embargo issue to get you the newer article. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to stop me. Whether it's you unmute yourself or you ask a question in the chat, I'm open to questions at any time. I did want to mention open access. Open access is one, if there is ever any issue, please let us know so we can figure out what that issue might be, because open access means you should have access to it, whether you're coming through a library database or you're being able to find it through Google. Open access is literally that. It's open access. Anybody can use it. You don't have to be a student. So that should be available for you. And there is never typically like just an abstract of one of those. There's a full text article with open access. So next is the research process, like ideas and brainstorming. And I have a little Jamboard. I'm going to put that in the chat. I figured this would be something fun. Everybody could kind of share some of their thoughts and ideas on how they come up with papers, what they do for the research process. Some people find it really easy and they can breeze through their research, go through and find everything, get things done in like a couple of days or a week, or, you know, you're cramming and you're turning it in, like doing the paper the night of. Other people sometimes struggle more. It's harder to find your sources. So I thought this would be fun to do some brainstorming. Everybody could kind of share ideas and be able to kind of go back and look at those. I know for me, research is a very messy process. It's not like, oh, I come up with a topic. It's a perfect topic. I don't ever have to revise it. I can easily find all of my sources, and then writing the paper just comes, like a breeze. I don't think I've ever had that process. I'll come up with my topic. I'll start doing research. As I'm reading, I notice things maybe it didn't quite go like I was thinking for my topic. And so I might tweak it a little bit, make it a little bit more narrow, or tweak it so that it's focuses more on another topic, or it could like completely change what I'm doing. And then I keep going, keep researching, and slowly start to build my paper out at that point. So that one is just for me a very messy process. And I love to hear how other people also come up with how they do papers, in case something like that works for me that I can use in my own research. So I'm going to leave that up for everybody to do, and then at the end maybe I can pull it up and we can talk about it a little bit. So I did put about 2 ideas in there. There's sticky notes that you can post in there, or you can use text boxes. I just thought that would be a really cool way to kind of share ideas on how on what you find works best. Didn't want to move. So I did want to talk a little bit about research help, like keeping up with your citations. We do have access to EndNote through Web of Science, and that can help keep and store all of your citations in whatever format that you use, whether it's MLA, APA, Chicago. There's also Zotero that you can utilize, and I believe if you use like Google Chrome, you can even have that added as an add-on, and you can utilize that. That'll also help with keeping track of citations. Some people find those really helpful. I get slightly confused by them. They are helpful. I either forget about it or have trouble getting it added in there. So I tend to use a Google Doc. But if anybody else has other ideas, those are also great that you can put in like that that Jamboard that I shared. And then there's always research consultations where there's a button on the library's webpage that you can click on, and you can request time to meet with somebody at the library, and we will sit down with you one-on-one and help you with your research, whether it's you're having trouble finding sources, you're not sure maybe what database to use. We can do things like that to work with you one-on-one. We can help with citations. I thought I put the Jamboard link in the citation. I'll put it in again, just to make sure it went through. Typically, in terms of, we haven't always helped with like formatting citations. Like if you have like part of a citation, we can help with like finding said citation. But yeah, we are willing to work with you on just about anything.
When you click
like
on
the
a
forming
link,
of,
when
Oh,
you
sorry,
click
say
on
that
that
again.
link you put, it goes to like a book. It says like gamified literacy or something.
oh, fiddlesticks. Okay. I was actually
I was
looking
gonna
at,
stop you as well, but yes.
okay, I'm sorry, that was my research earlier that I was doing. So let me get the Jamboard back up and I'll get that link again. I apologize, everybody. Copy link. Okay. I should have noticed the link looked different when I pasted it, but I didn't. I'm sorry. So now it should work. And so, well, this is what the Jamboard will look like. You can use sticky notes. You can make it whatever color you want, and you'll just type in your notes and do that. You can also use the text boxes and put in your little text boxes. And you can move these anywhere you want. So I just thought this might be a really cool way to share ideas. I know I really like to create outlines as I'm going through. That tends to help me with my research process. So let me go ahead and show you the website and some of those things that I mentioned earlier. I think I'm gonna have to minimize my thumbnail up here real quick. Okay. So I call the library's website kind of like the gateway to the online library. This quick search box, this is our kind of Google box. This is where it'll search the whole, all the databases and all of our print collection in one. You can start off with a simple search here, or you can go to the advanced search. I tend to do that one just because I like to put in all my keywords separately. If you wanted to do something a little bit more subject specific, you can come down here to the databases A to Z. There it goes. Okay, I apologize. We have 195 databases, not 194. And so whenever you hit the all subjects, this shows you all the ones that we currently have. So like if you wanted to look for something on medicine, and these are changing a little bit as we go along. Sometimes we will go back and we will update these a little bit more because we've added new databases. We'll try to update these and make sure these are as up to date as possible, so you have like the most up to date best bets box. Like this one is a trial that we have. So we're looking to see whether that gets a lot of good results, and then we'll see about trying to purchase it. But like Medline Complete and PubMed, those are really good if you are in nursing, or if you're having to deal maybe with chemical equations that help with medicines. That might be really helpful. If you know specific names of databases that you want to use, you can always select them. Like there's in C, I know one of the ones that's really helpful is the CINAHL. I know that tends to be very helpful for like the nursing students. And like Academic Search Complete, this is Academic Search Ultimate. It looks like that took an upgrade. That tends to be a really good like interdisciplinary database, or multidisciplinary database. So those tend to be really good. We also have research guides that you can check out. We do have these by subjects. It's not all inclusive, but there's a lot of really good ones that are out here. Like there's one for nursing, and some of these are more for specific classes. But you can always check them out, and they tend to have a lot of really good information in them, like the Guide to Government Statistics. This will include information on like where you can go to find some of them, like gives you direct links to websites and stuff like that. And then like some specific agencies that can be very beneficial depending on the area that you're studying. So those are really great and helpful. This is our need help button. So whether you're at home, whether you're in the library, you're in another state, attending like a conference or visiting family or something like that, you can always use this need help button to reach out to us. You can text us, you can chat with us. Typically, as long as the library is open, the chat should be available. But you can all, if it happens to not be available and you submit something through that, it'll come through as an email, or you can go ahead and submit it as an email. And this also gives you another link to a one-on-one research consultation with someone from the library. But of course, you can always text us or call us and visit us at the library, our wonderful library. And then let me go back to this page again. I'm sorry, I'm jumping back and forth a lot. This is also that initial button I was talking about. If you wanted to request to set up a meeting with somebody at the library, you can always hit this request librarian services. But this one down here, this is our interlibrary loan button. This is where you can come and request those articles if you can't seem to access it. And all you have to do is just log in with your net ID and password. And then you can create your request. And whenever you request when you request your item, it defaults to article or book chapter. And all the ones that have the little stars are just going to be the required ones, but you can also request books. You can request dissertations, DVDs, just about anything that you need. You can go through and create a request. And you can kind of keep up with where it is. So you can see that the request has gone out. You can see that it has been fulfilled by a different library, and you can see that it's in transit to our library. So you can see those things, so you can kind of keep up with where everything is to make things a little bit easier on you. I think there was somebody who'd asked a question about laptops. So here's our laptops and more button. We do have some laptops at the library that you can check out and use inside the library. I think those are for a 3-hour checkout. But if you're wanting to have one for like long term to keep and be able to take home with you, I would suggest applying through the CARES program to get one of those laptops, and they typically have pretty quick turnaround. I think within 24 to 48 hours, they would be reaching out to you, and you'd be able to get one of those laptops, and you'd be able to keep it for the whole semester. So we do have that available to pick up at the library. We do also have mobile printing. So if you are if you are on campus or coming to campus and you need to print something really quick, you can download the app on your phone and just send it from your phone to the printer, come in and pick it up. And we do have free printing this fall. So I would make use of that if possible. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to have free printing. I heard stirrings of pay for printing again, and I'm hoping that that goes away, because I like the free printing. I think that's been very, very helpful. So I think I've covered all the questions that I'd received beforehand. Do y'all have any more? And yes, I can share the PowerPoint and the links. Yep, no problem. Does anybody have any other questions? Let me put my contact information up here real quick, and you can reach out to me via email. You can call my office phone. I live up on the 3rd floor of the library, so you can always come and stop by my office and ask me any questions. So yeah, do y'all have any other questions that I might not have answered or that y'all might have thought of during the presentation? I feel like I went through that very quickly.
Chelsea, I have a question.
Yes.
So what is JSTOR, and what would be a good use for that?
JSTOR tends to be a pretty good multidisciplinary database. You see, we tend to do little descriptions. So it provides access to scholarly journals in the arts, humanities, and social sciences. it looks like the coverage varies. Most articles tend to be a little bit older. They're at least 5 years old. I know I used JSTOR a lot whenever I was doing my undergrad, and I've still used it some now. Probably not as much as I used to, because I sometimes have trouble finding exactly what I need. Like, I get good resources, but sometimes it takes me a little digging to be able to get through it. All of the things. Oh, great, without an account right now. And so I do like whenever you initially go to JSTOR, it already takes you to like the advanced search so that you can put in your different keywords. You can change your Boolean operators. You can change the fields to author, like item title, stuff like that. You can limit it to the content that we can access, and all of that. So I found that really good. Like whenever I needed like to look for more things on like literature and things like that. That's whenever I found JSTOR a little bit more helpful.
Thank you.
Is there a database of available books that can be borrowed through interlibrary loan? We can go through, this one. There is one that can make requesting something through interlibrary loan possibly a little bit easier. I know they tend to use this one. I just find it very difficult to use. There is WorldCat, and this is where you can go to sometimes find books or articles and put that information into search. I have just found WorldCat confusing to use. So like if I wanted to find Moby Dick, let's find title, and I'll just try to keep it a little, and I'll do it to a book. And so whenever things pull up that we do have, it will show that we have access to it. So like with this, it shows a lot of different things, that it's not just necessarily immediately that book title. So WorldCat can be very good to use to find information or to find specific resources. I've just found it a little bit more difficult to find said resources. It's not impossible. Some people have a knack for it. I am not one of those people. I can eventually find it. It just takes me probably longer than others. But it is a good resource that we do use quite often. And yes, I do believe any book can be requested. The only way that we do not fulfill a request for an article or for a book is either we cannot find it or no one is willing to lend it to us. And that is not often. Like, I don't think we have to cancel requests very often at all. So there is that. Are there, cancel out some of my tab and make sure my connection stays fast. Are there any other questions? I know whenever I came in, somebody was talking about like tutoring. I know the library houses the Learning Commons and the tutors that are there. So it has the Communication Skills Center, it has the Writing Center, it has the Math Lab, it has World Languages, and it has Trojan Tutoring in there. And I believe if you go through this tab here, it gives you a little bit more information, and this is also where you can go to be able to request any time with one of those particular centers, but walk-ins are welcome as well. So those are some really great resources, and we did like completely renovate the first floor and the second floor, so it looks awesome down there. And the multicultural center on the second floor also got a renovation, and it looks snazzy. They have a prayer room, they have a meditation room, they have a lactation room, and a nap room. I've heard great things about that nap room, so I'm kind of jealous. The name of the app to print, that is, let me go back to the library. I believe it's called Pharos One. But if you go to that laptops and more, this is where you on the enabled copiers and printers, you can hit the mobile print request, and this takes you to where you can download it. Yes, Pharos. And there are guides, if I can find it. There should be guides on being able to download it to an Android or to an iPhone.
So what's the process? I haven't printed anything yet, but if I wanted to print something while I'm at the library, do I have to get a card, or how's that work? And then you saying it was free this semester, so it doesn't go to like a credit on your account or anything like that? Or is there a certain amount of pages you can get?
No, right now it is free. You can print anything and everything. Please don't print whole books though. That goes against copyright. But yeah, like if you print from like your phone, you use the app and you print, it will just automatically release at the printer. So shortly after you've sent the print on your phone, or you can also pull it up on your laptop. There's a link, I think it's there on the through this particular link, and you can pull it up and save it on your computer. Like you can bookmark it, and whenever you go through there and release it at the printer, it will automatically release. So if somebody's printing at the same time, your print might get mixed in with theirs, but it will just automatically release it. It'll print it. If you are on one of the library computers, so you've logged into any of the ones that we have,